So guys, before I sat down for Gemini Man, the only thing I could think of was this Spider-Man gif. I don't know if you've seen it. Let's pull it up right now. What's going on, guys? James here, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Gemini Man is not very good. Goodness gracious. Now, before I go any further about what I didn't like with Gemini Man, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome. If you're wondering who Real James is, no, that's me. And I like to talk about movies. Each and every week I drop new videos, so don't miss out. Go ahead and hit the big red button below, like this video, and share it with your friends. Oh, and if this is your first time here at the channel, we like to have a discussion. So in the comments below, let me know, what's your favorite Will Smith role? Alrighty, so let's waste no more time and get right into Gemini Man. Gosh, oh boy. Gemini Man surrounds the story of an CIA type agent named Henry Bragon, and yeah, he's in a bit of trouble after killing what he thought was a terrorist, but really is an American. Once the government finds out that Henry knows he was set up, things go a little haywire. A guy by the name of Clive seeks out to kill Henry and suppress the truth, and well, Henry's got a big issue because he's got a clone after him named Junior. So now Henry's mission is to save not only himself, but a couple friends he picked up along the way, and maybe the life of his clone. I didn't really know what to expect because I avoided pretty much every trailer and saw a couple of things on Instagram, but other than that, it was really just me going in blind. And sure, there were a couple of things about this movie that really made me raise my eyebrows and say, oh, okay, I'm enjoying this. And that starts with a couple action sequences. One in particular, there's this dirt bike sequence where Junior and Henry Bragon, well, Will Smith, oh, this is gonna get confusing. They're chasing after each other in the streets of Colombia, and it's pretty cool. And I think it's shot very well. There's a nice one-shot sequence, and all of the action is pretty easy to keep up with. Then there's also some hand-to-hand combat in the catacombs, and that's not bad either. And like I mentioned earlier, Will Smith's character picks up a couple friends along the way, and one of them is Benedict Wong. I love his character in this movie. He's funny, he brings a lot of charm and charisma to the role, and honestly, I just love Benedict Wong. I loved him in Doctor Strange, Endgame, Infinity War. The dude is on the up and up, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the future. But honestly, the positives stop there for Gemini Man. Will Smith, for me, is still a charming guy. He's still funny, and I do like him in some of his roles here in this generation, but in Gemini Man, he's just okay. I don't think he brings a lot to the table, but maybe that's because he couldn't bring a lot to the table. That leads me to this next negative, which is the story. The way the script was written was so one note. It was basic. I get it. It's a generic action movie. I understand there's not going to be a lot of threads to this story, but it was too basic. There was actually nothing that made me want to see how this movie would end because it was so predictable. My goodness, it was predictable. I mean, from the moment Junior comes on screen, which is also Will Smith, then you start to recognize, oh, okay, I know where the story is going. We've seen it 100 times before, and wouldn't you know it, it ends up just as you expected. And that's another thing. Ang Lee, the man who directed Life of Pi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Sense and Sensibility, is gonna come and deliver Gemini Man. The guy has not directed a good film since Life of Pi in 2012. I figured, okay, whatever. Gemini Man, it's a generic action movie with a good director, and Will Smith is a good leading man. There's nothing that can go wrong. But Ang Lee's style is just non-existent. If you told me this is an Ang Lee movie, I would tell you you're crazy. Yeah, it's rough. It's just rough. There's nothing here, and I think that maybe Ang Lee is losing his touch just a little bit. Let me tell you, the technology used was something that was a talking point for many, many months, and I heard that director Ang Lee took a lot of the movements from Will Smith's characters in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, from Bad Boys, and kind of just like combined a lot of that in this film. And as confusing as it all sounds, the technology wasn't used very well. The CGI was really noticeable in hand-to-hand sequences. I don't want to spoil anything, but it looked like they ran out of budget at one point. And I'm like, yep, okay, cool. So outside of all those technicalities and everything, when you get to the bare bones of this movie, it really deals with a lot of one-on-one conversation, and it uses that to advance the story. Okay, cool. I'm a fan of exposition. I love dialogue, but it wasn't done very well in this movie. So honestly, I can see why people would love Gemini Man. It's a movie you literally turn your brain off, you sit down, you watch Will Smith fight Will Smith, and sometimes Clive Owen, and sometimes random troopers that don't really matter because they're just there as dummy figures. I'm just really disappointed because Gemini Man sets up a premise that could be well executed, maybe if it were handled either by a different director or different screenwriters. But man, I think this one just fails to hit the mark. Alrighty guys, so that's my take on the disappointing Gemini Man. If you enjoyed everything you just saw and heard, go ahead and hit the big red button below. We're almost to 400 subscribers. I'm so excited. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and also in the comments below, please let me know, what did you think of the movie when you see it? Alrighty guys, so until next time, I'll catch you at the next screening, and hopefully not catch my clone. I mean, how many times have I given blood? Oh boy.